The types of bird beaks. Bird beaks, also known as bills or rostrums, are one of the most important and diverse features of birds. They are used for a variety of functions, including feeding, grooming, and defense, and they come in a wide range of shapes and sizes. In this essay, we will explore the different types of bird beaks and their functions. Seed-eating beaks. Seed-eating birds have short, stout beaks that are designed for cracking open seeds. These beaks are typically conical in shape, and they are often pointed at the tip to help the bird pick up and manipulate small seeds. Some examples of birds with seed-eating beaks include finches, sparrows, and grosbeaks. Insect-eating beaks. Birds that feed on insects have beaks that are typically longer and more pointed than those of seed-eating birds. These beaks are designed to pick up and hold small insects, and they often have sharp, serrated edges that help the bird to tear apart its prey. Some examples of birds with insect-eating beaks include woodpeckers, flycatchers, and swallows. Fish-eating beaks. Birds that feed on fish have long, sharp beaks that are designed for catching and holding slippery prey. These beaks are typically pointed and slightly curved, and they often have serrated edges that help the bird to grip and tear its prey. Some examples of birds with fish-eating beaks include pelicans, herons, and ospreys. Fruit-eating beaks. Birds that feed on fruit have beaks that are typically broad and flattened, with a slight curve at the tip. These beaks are designed for crushing and mashing fruit, and they often have a specialized tongue that helps the bird to extract the pulp from the fruit. Some examples of birds with fruit-eating beaks include toucans, parrots, and hornbills. Nectar-eating beaks. Birds that feed on nectar have long, thin beaks that are designed for probing deep into flowers. These beaks are typically straight and narrow, with a slightly curved tip that helps the bird to reach the nectar at the bottom of the flower. Some examples of birds with nectar-eating beaks include hummingbirds, sunbirds, and honeyeaters. Omnivorous beaks. Some birds are omnivores, which means that they feed on both plants and animals. These birds have beaks that are adapted for a wide range of foods, and they are often more generalized in shape than the beaks of birds with specialized diets. Some examples of birds with omnivorous beaks include crows, jays, and magpies. Probing beaks. Probing beaks are long, thin, and straight. They are designed for reaching deep into crevices, holes, and other tight spaces to extract insects and other prey. Birds with probing beaks often have a specialized tongue that is long and sticky, which allows them to catch their prey with ease. Some examples of birds with probing beaks include woodpeckers, kingfishers, and toucans. Chisel beaks. Chisel beaks are strong and pointed, and they are used for chipping away at wood and other hard materials. Birds with chisel beaks typically use their beaks to excavate nests or to create cavities for roosting. Some examples of birds with chisel beaks include woodpeckers, nuthatches, and sapsuckers. Scythe beaks. Scythe beaks are long, curved, and sharp, and they are used for tearing apart prey. Birds with scythe beaks typically use them to catch and kill small animals, such as rodents, reptiles, and other birds. Some examples of birds with scythe beaks include hawks, eagles, and falcons. Filter-feeding beaks. Filter-feeding beaks are specialized for straining tiny organisms out of water or mud. Birds with filter-feeding beaks typically have long, thin, and flexible beaks with fine bristles or hair-like structures on the end. These structures trap small particles and plankton, which the bird then consumes. Some examples of birds with filter-feeding beaks include flamingos, pelicans, and herons. Hooked beaks. Hooked beaks are curved and sharp, and they are used for tearing apart prey. Birds with hooked beaks typically use them to catch and kill larger animals, such as rodents, reptiles, and other birds. Some examples of birds with hooked beaks include owls, eagles, and vultures. Spoon beaks. Spoon beaks are flat and wide, with a shallow depression at the end. They are used for scooping up insects and other small prey from the ground or from the surface of water. Birds with spoon beaks typically have long legs and use their beaks to probe into the mud or other substrates to find food. Some examples of birds with spoon beaks include avocets, spoonbills, and ibises. In conclusion, the diversity of bird beaks is truly remarkable. From the powerful scythe beaks of raptors to the delicate nectar-gathering beaks of hummingbirds, each type of beak has evolved to meet the specific needs of the bird's diet and lifestyle. By studying the shape and function of bird beaks, scientists can gain valuable insights into the ecological roles of these fascinating creatures and the ways in which they have adapted to survive in their environments.